Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Messmer Spear of the Impaler build guide for an Elden Ring. So this is the remembrance weapon from Messmer, and it gives you his really cool anime style attack here that has multiple different attacks if you continue to press the L2 button. So it doesn't actually use a whole lot of FP either, surprisingly, but I'll be showing you this full build. Now we do have to be level 160, which you're probably going to be up there in the levels once you get this weapon. I tried to make it level 150, but the stats just didn't work out properly, so I had to go a little bit higher. So we're going with 50 vigor here, 26 mind, 42 endurance. This allows us to have a medium roll alongside 56 poise, because this is going to resist 2 light attacks for us. So we want to have at least 51 poise, but 56 is kind of preferred. As for our strength, 48 is required to equip the fingerprint stone shield, which actually we can block and attack with this, so it actually goes together extremely well. I have 35 dexterity, which is the minimum dexterity requirement to wield the Spear of the Impaler, so Messmer's weapon here. But this does give us a good amount of physical and fire damage, so that's quite nice. We also need 18 faith, which is what I have there. And then also for our stats, I have just enough to be able to equip the Dragon Communion Seal here. I'm using Messmer's armor just to make it a bit more thematic. And I also have Gaius' gauntlets and the Fire Prelate greaves, so that gives us 56 poise. Now, as for our stats, or as for our skills, or talisman, we can use the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, the Pearl Shield Talisman, which will boost all non-physical damage negation while guarding. So we want to have our shield up as much as we can. Great Jar Arsenal is kind of the only required one here, because that's going to allow us to medium roll with this. And then Shard of Alexander for extra skill damage. So I also equipped the Raw Meat Dumpling, because our Mimic can use this to heal. They can't be poisoned, so it doesn't bother them. But generally, the way we want to go about combat is we want to walk around with the shield up. What's nice is we can shield and attack with this. So obviously, starting with combat, we want to go with the weapon skill as much as possible. But using Flame Grant Me Strength will actually give us a huge damage boost. So we want to start with that. And then you can just go in with the shield block there. About 500 damage per stab, which is nice for a spear. But the real beauty is we can stand back and hold R2. And we got a throwable version, which will leave fire on the ground. So the range on this thing is pretty great. I think that's my favorite part about this weapon, is just being able to throw it. And then you can block too. So you can have your shield up. And then whenever we get an opportunity to throw the weapon, you can go with it. But as you can see, it's nice to be able to block with this. Another shield that would be useful, I'll show you in a second once we take this guy out. You build up a lot of posture damage too. But we could also alternatively, instead of having the Shard of Alexander, we could go with the Turtle Talisman. I'm still just going to show you what this weapon art can do, because it's pretty powerful. And yeah, that's a lot of damage. We didn't get the full combo and it dealt 1900 damage, so extremely powerful. But instead of the Shard of Alexander, if you want to play a little bit more defensively, you can get the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman. Just gives you a bit more endurance build up, so you can go in and stab with your attacks and recover a bit quicker. So that's pretty nice. But as you can see, we're breaking posture in about 3 hits. That's really nice. So we'll go after this champion here, and you'll see there that blocking. Oh, we have another one there. We were able to get a posture break off on that, and that's awesome. But the big strategy that we want to use with this build is to block as much as we can, and then whenever we get an opportunity to do this, you want to throw as much as you can, because it's going to deal damage over time too in that area. As you can see, he had a shield up, but the fire was able to still hurt him. And it actually has a good amount of stagger on this weapon too, so yeah, we're able to build up great amounts of posture damage and deal a ton of damage with this. Now, if you're higher level than 160, you can go ahead and put more points into your endurance for a little bit more defense. But also, you could go with more dexterity, because that's what's going to scale best for this weapon. It scales off strength, dexterity, and faith. Now, you can go with more faith and arcane too, because this build allows you can cast spells. Our weapon art doesn't use a ton of our FP, so you could potentially go with something like that. Also increase your mind too if you want to. If you're going upwards of like 250, some people ask for builds for upwards of that level, I find. So that could be something you invest your faith points into to get some different incantations. 25 would be a nice cutoff for faith, because that'll give you Golden Vow, which is a really great incantation to have. And then you could take 16 faith, or 16 arcane, which will allow you to cast the Swarm of Flies to give yourself a little bit of bleed build-up. But typically the way we want to start combat is with this. So throw your weapon, It's cool seeing the spear stuck into their head. It's really funny. The range on this weapon is also incredible too, so that's one of the best benefits of this is you got an ability to throw it, hit a target a couple times, and then follow it up with your shield. So there's a lot to love about the Spear of the Impaler. Messmer is an incredible boss fight in the Elden Ring DLC, and yeah, this build itself is very powerful because we are defensive as well as we got a good offense from close range, and then also from far away we also got a good range too. So there's everything in this build, pretty much everything you could want. So yeah, that is the Messmer the Impaler Spear build guide for an Elden Ring. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.